about anything that's going on in your mind. Anything. Oh, am I likable? I'm not likable. Did you ever think about that? When you have a breakup, when you got fired, when, hello, Peter. So anything that happened, I'm here, look at your cameras, right? So anything that ever happened, Giselle, como estás? ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde sois? Where are you from? Where are you from, guys? I'm here in South California. Here is my practice. Okay, Dr. Daniela, the psychologist. User 1133. So, let first of all, let's recognize the compulsions, the impulsivity, and then learn how to neutralize that. How about you, that, Lori? What do you think about that? So, what is unwanted? You prefer do not think about anymore. I mean, you're talking about the look. Today is 2 days for December. The last month, right, Citrus, Lori, Giselle, Peter, the last month of the year 2023. And I want to end this year in greater, right? For this reason, I'm investing my time and also share with you guys my expertise, but for make a change, right? I want to finally do this project. And how about you? What was stopping me? I can share that with you, all right? And too busy, you know, you all get busy, right? Invite a friend that you think it's obsessive talking about that former partner, former boyfriend, former husband, ex-girlfriend. Invite your mother, invite your dad, invite your sister, your best friend, that person that you want to give a good advice but you don't know how to talk about. Invite that person. Okay, let's do this together. So what is distressing you? I don't want to filter the comments. They're asking here, so today is my second day. I don't want to filter the comments. I don't know why they're asking that. Okay. Which kind of compulsivity I have that I need to neutralize? Impulsivity. Yesterday, I'm going to share first what happened yesterday. I shared about on the comments. You can share with me your thoughts, and it was about what? Someone, a patient that is also always interrupting someone else that is talking. Okay, and that is impulsivity. The person do not allow it, others to talk, do not listen. Do you think people that listen more can be wiser? What do you think? What is your experience? Do you think someone that is sharing a lot, for example, a social media like this, a platform like this, YouTube, do you think that person first had to sit at the college, learn from someone else, and listen, absorbing, processing, learning, study, and then talk? What do you think? There are steps, right? How strong is the urge to talk? How strong is the urge to, oh my gosh, to deal with a stressful situation? How strong is the urge to tell your coworker that he must stop abusing you, right? Complaining about your work, the work you're doing for your boss. How long can you take the criticism from your mother? All right, I'm also a family therapist. How long Can you deal with that through love? The images I like I'm using those days. So share that with me, please, so you can engage in this therapy session, okay? So here, for example, to what standard do you feel you have of lost over control of the response? Okay, so you tell someone to do that. I tell, hey, I will tell her to stop talking to me like that, making me feel like shit. I can say that in this platform. So I tell her, I no longer accept that kind of abuse. So can you wait for the outcome? Because don't have to be a huge argument for you get for someone listen you. Sometimes this person listen and have to process, and it's like it's a therapeutic process, and absorb and change the behavior, and then you also change yours. You learn self-protective mechanism. You behave differently. You may stop doing something that annoy that person. Sometimes your mom, what she needs is you to come over for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. You stay for a couple of days, listen her. That's it. And she'll stop complaining for the next months, for a year, up to the next year, right? I have a patient that she says, oh my gosh, grandmama is always telling me it's the last year she'll be alive. And she's saying that repeated over and over for over a decade. And her grandmother is already in her 90s. Exactly like my grandma when she passed away 2 years ago, 96. So someone can play the victim to have some attention. Did ever do that? Did ever consider doing that? So to what extent do you engage in the response to feel better or to prevent a possible negative outcome? And that is about what? I have the urge to do that. And at the end, I'll do nothing. You know, when you have goals in your mind, you hire that expensive coach, and you get a plan. You have the urge to do all that, but at the end you get stuck because you're emotionally drained. You spend a lot of time watching Netflix. You can watch Netflix for 5 hours daily. Do you know that? You can even sleep with the TV on. Right? Because you have this urge to do everything before you go to bed, but the next day you're drained. You cannot do anything. Is that ever happened to you? And you get stuck in compulsive behavior, like what? Wash the hands more than once after using the toilet. Make sure the doors are locked. I shared that yesterday, right? Make sure the doors are locked. Sometimes you have to check it 3 times, 5 times before you leave home. Look at that. This is lack of confidence. Has that ever happened to you, Citrus? Lori? I'll be here every night. This is one of my goals, okay? So, let me share here another thing. So, when someone have obsessions, they typically feel discomfort. that ever happened to you? Anxiety, disgust. They even feel disgust, this discomfort is about themselves. I shared yesterday about a former boyfriend I had almost a decade ago when I moved to South California. And that sense of I'm just not right. So you are never right. It's obsessive compulsive thoughts. But people they do not recognize that. I'm sharing here the urge to leave the kitchen in perfect organization. The dishes have to be cleaned right away, and that's okay because that is also about or organize yourself or make your bed before you leave to work. That is all about organize your life, right? But there are people that they become obsessive about that, and even to have someone else in them home, a guest, a new person in your life, you are so obsessive about the way you are. You think you are only that way, but you feel the discomfort. Oh my gosh, did you ever consider that? You want to be in a relationship, but it's so hard to be you. How come you're going to to have someone else into your life? I'm just not right. So when people have obsessions, they try to get rid of them. Okay? So reducing unpleasant feelings by performing differently, act differently. Is that possible? What do you think, Ben? I think it is possible. When the act is repeated exactly the same way every time, I have to wash my hands after that using the towel. The towel have to be hanging exactly so you know, and you do the laundry exactly that way. And that's okay because I know people that do the laundry and the dryer but never take care of the clothes after that. Spend 2 hours washing and drying, but after that cannot have more 20 minutes to uh, um, organize it was washed and dried and put in the wardrobe, and get upset with them kids and family because no one did the same. So I have a patient that we recognize that she could recognize that pattern and what was annoying her, and finally she was allowing herself to have a half of an hour plus doing the laundry and have everything done the way that she wants, and no longer get upset with her family for the same reason. Can you imagine that? The same week after week, and have the same kind of obsessive thought and getting upset about the same, right? That is also is compulsive. Okay, so compulsions are acts that people feel compelled to perform. So share with me. Today I'm seeing you're more quiet, and this live wasn't a surprise. Is that interesting? Maybe I should come back again as a surprise live. What do you think? To have more audience. I'm going to do this. I do this something. I'll finish this live and come back. Is that okay for you? Remember that I give now examples of compulsions and how come to neutralizing that. Wait for me 1 minute. go, 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 go. I'm back, so let me see now how that work again. I think now it will be better. Okay, I'm still make sure this platform. Okay, you can share anything with me here. Okay, now you're going to do the examples. The examples of compulsions and neutralize them. Let's do this together. I'm waiting for you guys. Let me see who is back. Denise, how are you again? Okay, perfect. It's great. It's okay. Okay, Ghosty, how are you? Liz, I'm here in South California. Where are you? Leo, where are you? So, I continue the live tonight. I started yesterday. Okay, let's let's do free therapy, overcoming obsessive thoughts. And I start with the examples of compulsions and how to neutralize that in a practical way. Okay, you have here my support. How are you? Lisianda Rodrigues, where are you from? De donde eres? Júnior, are you Brazilian? Vocês são do Brasil, do México, da Espanha? De onde eres? I'm bilingual. Okay, you cannot. Okay, someone is in here also. Okay, you are from Australia. Great. YouTube. I'm also in YouTube. Valen, how are you? Okay, so you still. What happened for your dad? Please share with me. You that you are from Australia. Okay, anything happened to him? Because I'll explain how to neutralize the negative, the bad talk, okay? By thinking. I was giving examples yesterday and earlier. Okay, so your grandma, okay. And he is, he think was your fault because of that? Tell me the story behind that, since I can read all your comments on live here because I'm looking. Please, okay? I mean, it's never someone's fault, actually, but you have to understand what. It's not your fault, never, okay? You that you are from Australia. It's never your fault what someone else think about you. But you can have a different act, behavior, and also let that person understand that everyone needs time to process things, okay? Make decisions, change. Some people, to forgive anything, they take longer. They can keep resentment, okay? That happen with blocking or ghosting people. Okay, I'm here in 2 platforms. Let me see here what you just said. Okay, you stopped talking to him a year ago because he's okay. Okay, so I'm reading everything. And you decide to forgive. Okay, so now you change it. You are the one that decide to forgive him, right? Okay. So I understand that. So he reversed it, he twisted everything, right? So it started on you. So you see, now it's exactly you that are from Australia, is exactly in that you're healing, okay? This process of resentment. And I'll tell you now why you first stop talking to your father, your dad. Okay, I understand that you explained that the accord with your words, he wasn't a good dad. I understand that. And looking that with compassion, because always into the sessions, everything is with compassion, looking for that himself, that he could not do his best to be your dad. If you look at like that, okay, with compassion, and you think, oh my gosh, and now he also lost his our nonna, right, his mother. So your dad is in grief. You understand that? He is healing from the loss of his own mom. And if he drinks a lot, what you're saying, so a lot of frustration, the shame and the guilt. Okay? Okay, you know that. You see? You know so much. And it is not that you have to take care of your dad because you are in the position. The family dynamic is your dad is the one that should take care of you, of course. But look it with compassion. Okay, look it with compassion, understanding that he do not talk. It's like he is avoiding conflict. So what I recommended is, it's like a quick advice, but is could you consider being in touch with your dad without tell him, criticize him? Could you considering that? Because, so this is my question. Since you are answer really fast, I don't want to lose you in here on YouTube, because I truly want you, this is, okay, the dynamic of the therapy. Your father, your dad, you must understand he is a human being. He is, well, he has his weakness. Very kindly for a month, and he just ignored me. Okay, for a month. So that, remember, some people, they need time to process. He is healing from grief, the loss of his mother. And let's be honest, the mom is the one that gave, okay, I believe you, I love you, ah, it's so beautiful. It's beautiful for you. That it is compassion, that it is the kind of therapy that I believe it. And now is your turn to process this this contact zero. Okay, I understand. And I'm sure he needs you. When someone is avoiding the another person, doesn't mean that he don't needs you. I think he needs you more than you ever could imagine. And I understand how sad it was for you. Okay. As I mentioned, there are people that they keep resentment for longer. He just can have a better communication with your sister. There are no reasons, but what I'm saying is let's do this exercise together. You releasing the resentment, understanding that for some reason he must be overthinking about that, about she did that to me, she stopped talk to me first. So it's oh, look, it's not that everything is intentional. Well, not at all. 90% of all behaviors or acts are no intentional. It's not like a Machiavellic plan to hurt someone back. It's truly people, they try to self-protect. They want to avoid conflict, and probably could be what has happened to him. He is just trying to have, he probably, yeah. And so you love him unconditionally. You love him unconditionally. Look, despite all of his, the way that he is reacting right now, just consider it, hey, I love my dad unconditionally. So for me, here in the therapy session, it's safe for you. You can say anything. Anything. You know, it's like relieve all the resentment and work that practice by practice. You are human beings by practice. For this reason, exercise, doing that day after day. Hey, am I really ready to reach back my father, hug him? But it's a relationship, right? And probably see my father, talk to him every week, every 2 weeks, every month. Can I never, you know, bring up again things from the past, how bad he is, how much he drinks. You know what I truly think is, as you mentioned, it's family, right? Same blood, the connection. And because of that, you, when you look at the situation that he is also in so much pain, he lost his own mom, right? Give him time, okay? And you engage in rituals. I call rituals, but exercise. Like, hey, I'm okay talk about my father without bring up. Okay, you know what? I no. At first, I want to share everything I've done wrong. Okay. And do you think it was intentionally? If you ask my opinion, is what I mentioned. It's a self-protective mechanism. He don't know exactly what he is doing. He is in so much pain. He tried to avoid conflicted relationships for now. Okay. You just wanted to avoid. Okay. I read that. You just want to grieve your grandmother, but can't when I'm worrying about my dad. Okay. Remember, as you mentioned before, there are another sister, right? That is talk to him. So someone else is aware about his behaviors. And how about you start thinking positively about your father? Like, okay, you are worried, you love him, but think, hey, my dad will be stronger. My dad will surprise us. Yes, he can deal with that. Okay, he needs some time. And as you mentioned, you already sent message, so give him some time. Maybe in a few days you send another message without expect anything. Because when we do great things for the family and for ourselves, we do not expect. Look, being depressed, one of the symptoms, okay, of being depressed is sleeping a lot, okay, but for a month is still not much. Look, therapy, going to therapy, to you can have from the first session already, uh, you recognize so many patterns, things like that. But the healing process, the changes, it's between 6 months to a year. And also the grief, divorce is also considered grief. It's like you lose, you break, that family dynamic. And for example, what happened, I'm here going back to your message, what happened with your grandma. I'm so sorry for that you are thinking about that. As I mentioned, things they change, okay? First of all, give him certain time, look at the situation with compassion. Also, one thing you should consider is do not feel guilty about you. What you just mentioned, okay? I read that. Anything you have done, now the situation changed. And you are ready for this change, right? Okay, you need your dad. How old are you? You from Australia. I'm not saying here, and no problem. I don't need your name, okay? If you prefer being called you from Australia, I'm fine with that. Just to know a little about you. Okay, 45. Okay. So, in here, let's consider this. Yeah, you are a growth woman. Um, Look at the picture with a positive, and I'm not saying, oh, let's just be positive. No, look at the negativity that could become obsessive about thinking, oh my gosh, if the worst will happen, if the worst will happen. But looking for the, if you look at the picture of the worst, okay, this picture you just mentioned, oh my gosh, if that ever happened and he didn't talk to me anymore, how that will make me feel. It's guilty, upset, sad, depressed. But look at that with the, okay, he looks ill, okay. So, write before you write to him, you give him, let's suppose you are texting him every day. You're texting him for a month. So for do not overwhelm him, let's suppose you can wait for 3 days. This is one of the practical rituals, exercise. You wait for 3 days. Okay, I'll text dad again. Something that you have done that day. Okay, a week. Okay, great. So share with him something you have done that day about anything. Dad, I'm giving an example, okay? Um, okay, I was cooking today's that. I remember you love it. Let's suppose, okay, I'm giving an example. Okay, uh, I wish I could give you a hug. That's it. I wait one more week. Dad, I wish you recover soon. Um, and say something like, I have prayed for you. Um, I wish everything will be better. That's it. So you share the story, right? First is about him because the food he likes. Okay, the food he likes. So that bring, because food give him memory, right? Second, you share your wish The another week, the third week, you say, Dad, okay. You say, Dad, I remember. You, you may have some anything that happened in your childhood that was really nice. Let's suppose, okay, because since you loved him, always there are something that you can dig, and you'll find that was nice for him. And you bring up that situation in the message. Dad, I remember this. That's it. One short sentence, because an ill person probably is not going to read much, probably is not going to process. His mind is ill, right? So you never know if he feels headaches, if what he is feeling his body, if he's eating well. But something, you know, short sentence, short communication, and with your heart, okay? You have the intention to actually talk to him and tell him um, something good, a good memory, okay? Dad, I remember when you were coming from work that day and this, okay? Because look, I know that causes trauma when the family member, and especially a father figure, it's alcoholic. But when you look with compassion, the person is in so much pain, um, and just don't know how to deal with having family, kids, and every kid has a different personality. One thing is you dream about, right? You start a family and you dream about, oh, I dream about having my wife and my kids and my house, but things they start overwhelmed me, and I could not handle with all that. Well, some people, can I say something? Okay, look, can I say something? Oh, so he said that, right? He said that. No one is non a geek. Okay, so he said something. Some people they deal completely differently. Okay, um, if the person has a depressive personality, uh, he thinks that death will be a relief. It's hard for people that have so much life going on and it's pretty much alive and have everything well. Yeah, and then other people they are not they are not connected with those kind of memories, material stuff. And other people they want that. You know what I mean? Uh, we are all different, right? And this is about our differences. This is why psychotherapies help so much, because we recognize that we are all different, and so the family dynamic change because we accept how the another person communicate, and I understand your need to be in touch, to contact. Yes, so here it's a good place to uh, okay, so remember one thing. Here it's a a safe place to be, okay? I will text, I will tell you my email, daniela.phd.psychology@gmail.com. Okay, this is my new email, or my WhatsApp, +1 424 333 6851. So you can share your story a little uh, with more details, okay? So understand that you see the way that you're speaking, so you have to, if you change this communication, even the way that you're thinking, okay, he is lucky to have you, it's true. Okay, I understand. He is lucky to have you, great. You are lucky to have him. The family is lucky to have him. Yes, I repeat, it's Daniela, 1L, dot, PhD, dot, psychology, at gmail.com. Not sure I can write in here. Let me see if I can write in here. Not sure how that's work. Yeah. And the WhatsApp, it's +1, or you can DM me in my Facebook. Oh no, you are on YouTube, right? There are another email in YouTube. I think it's appointments with appointments that danielavercruz@gmail.com. You can see this information. You also can send in that email. Oh, Daniel, very nice to meet you. Very nice to know your name, okay? So, changing this narrative, this communication with your dad. So, you look, you are blessed to be alive. Anne Marie, very nice to have you here. So, Anne Marie Daniel, okay, it's a beautiful name. So, remember that you are blessed to have him, you are blessed to be born. Because look how many people they didn't have the chance to be born, right? So I will, please send me this email. I'll be glad to answer you back. I'm here in this another platform. There is someone else that, Stephanie, how are you? Stephanie, I read that reply. Okay, she is asking me about how about people is ghosting people and blocking. Look, Stephanie, for which reason that person was blocking you, and why are you taking, no, excuse me, for which reason are you taking serious that someone blocked you? Maybe it's this person's self mechanism to protect himself, Stephanie, from relationships, from to beloved. Hey, beloved, it's not easy, it's not to everybody. Beloved, and this is also for you and Marie. Beloved, be understood when the person is so much blame and shame. Oh my gosh. It's not to everybody. People that are in so much shame, oh my gosh, they don't think they're lovable. No, how come someone could love me? Is this person crazy? And this is exactly what has happened with most relationship recently in this society. People, they cannot connect, because if I connect, why the relationships, they become so superficial? Oh my gosh, because if I connect, that person will see who I am. who I truly am. Why is this person liking me? Why is this person in love with me if I'm not even, that special? So that could be Stephanie. Um, so I write here Stephanie because I'm not sure if she's gone. She was waiting me. So here, who else is here? Okay. Benny, how are you? I'm talking about things that no one else is talking. Internet. When my patients they they come up to me and they share things that they're seeing internet. To avoid relationships. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. So who else is here? Hey, how are you? Chuck, how have you been? I saw you yesterday. Mark, how are you? I'm surprised at how many males also in this platform. Valen, it's a female. Jocelyn, it's a female. De donde sois? I'm bilingual. Lisiane, I talked to you yesterday, right? So please ask me questions. For how long I'm here. I can stay here for a little more. So I'm here. Stephanie, are you back? Mark, how are you? So let's okay, let's neutralize, okay? So undoing or neutralizing the bad thoughts. I share this because I don't want to lose the focus about that by thinking uh, when and where is good, safe, right? And it is an image. Yes, we have the image that it's a meditation, a prayer, right? I have that in my mind that it's a safe place to be. So for this reason, when you meditate and you're relaxing, uh, we imagine the ocean view. Mia Carter, how are you? You are by the nature with a lot of green, right? Why that? Because it's a safe place. We don't imagine a crowded football game to be a safe place. You understand that? So I hold that image that I love and I feel safe. The image that I am safe. Even the clothes, okay? The color you want to feel safe. White, blue. And the happy response to any kind of aggressive thought, because the aggressivity starts in the thoughts, even the memories of the negative things, the bad things that happen, the urge, the image, right? So, oh no, I cannot imagine that person was telling like such ugly things about me. It was blasphemous. Talk about me like that. That person envy me. That person hates me. Look how negative it is. And that become compulsive. You can wake up think of that. You can cry thinking of that. You can get depressed think of that. Why someone hates you so much? Why someone is sharing a gossip about you so badly? Why is that? And here my question. Why you give so much importance for what people are thinking about you, are talking about you? And here the ritual, the new rituals, since people talk about rituals, but I prefer say new habits. You know what? Today I will make a different decision. I'll do something different. I wake up early, there's morning, and I'm going for a walk before I go to work. Or after work, I go for this walk or go for have a coffee with a friend or with myself, enjoying also the solitude. Okay, understand that enjoying the solitude, it's I'm with my thoughts, but not with the compulsive negative self-talking, but feeling the blessing, how lucky I am. Yes, how lucky I am. Look how the narrative change. Instead of say, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad lucky person. I never have a luck in love. At work, always I have the worst work. You have been paid for your job, so you are lucky, right? There are countries in the world, I'm not going to mention here, that have a job, it's already being blessed. Let's be realistic, because the worst in scenario when you think I have nothing. So I like to bring the patients, certain patients, they need the shock therapy, right? Even that you think is not your reality, but there are certain ways to feel blessed, right? Like I mentioned before, certain people, they never had the chance to even born, right? And I'm not going to mention why. A very common type of compulsive act, so I'll tell you, it's checking everything. So I said checking the doors, checking if your hands are cleaned, check if your car is parked right. You check it like 10 times, but every day, so that is compulsive, okay? Checking that if you have caused harm, you have been forgiving, or the consequence are not, and that this obsessive thoughts is seriously. And in here, I'm going back to you, in here in YouTube, Marie, and Marie is, look at that, the consequences of what I have done. Is that person actually forgave me when that happened? Because some people, they say, you say, oh, I'm sorry, and the another person, okay, that's okay, no problem, that's okay, let's move on, let's forget about that. But the person with obsessive thought, they can, because it's extremely compulsive, they can think every day about that. Is she ever really forgave me? She could ever forgive me one day, someday? Or no, 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 I don't think she could ever forgive me. I was really the worst father that ever existed. Those, they're extremely obsessive, and it's a kind of self-harm, okay? And it's also about borderline personality. You see that a lot. The person is always thinking no one can forgive it, always thinking did everything wrong, cannot do anything well. Borderline personality, okay? And I'm not here diagnosing anyone else, but considering Yoli, how are you? Mia Carter, Makina, how are you? Mark again. So another thing, so the self, another thing that ever could happen, right? Seeking reassurance from others that harm hasn't occurred. So, but the harm hasn't occurred, but you are seeking the reassurance from that. Someone that work, I have a patient that she works in a kindergarten, and she's all the time scared, terrified of the caring of those kids. So she is always, and that is important because the kind of job she has, but there are certain ways even to do a better job and to sleep well and to be more, to feel better, to go back to work. Because if that work it's make you um, drained and feeling insecure all the time. So it's not that you have to quit the job. It's not like that. I don't believe in that. But I believe that you have to self-regulate your confidence, okay? That you are doing your best. And that is from my moms, am I doing my best? Look, you cannot be a perfect mother, right? Like you cannot be a perfect dad, but you can be a good person. So um, so let me go here. The response is intentional and repetitive and excessive. Compulsive responses and neutralizing acts are intentional and repetitive actions. So let me share here. Okay, I understand that. You can email me, Anne Marie. I read that. I read that. Look, there are people, they have no common sense, right? There are people, they have no common sense. They are learning. Look, everything in life is an experience. Everything in life. We are all learning all the time, okay? We try to do our best when you have certain common sense, when you have access like this for the therapy, for the therapist, when even be a good therapist. I have a patient's client that do my coach program. They are all the time think they are not qualified enough. So can you imagine, is your job is what you have for living, right? So you just have to feel confident to do what you're doing, okay? Okay. Okay, I understand that. I read that. Okay, email me. Great. So I'm here just because I truly wanted to share that. So the obsessive compulsive thoughts, it's you feel an urge to do that. So you stop everything to do that. I saw people that they only can use one toilet. They have a big house, but they only can use one toilet. And before use the toilet must to be cleaned. After use the toilet must to be cleaned. If they are at work somewhere happen, they had to leave work and go back home to use that toilet. Look how things they can be. This is the compulsivity, right? But there are other kinds to complete the satisfaction of that urge. And that it's for any kind of addiction also, okay, Anne-Marie, and McKenna, Mark, Yoli, any kind of compulsive behavior and addictions, okay? You feel loss of control. This is addictions is the same. You feel loss of control, you lost control. Who can help you if you lost control, right? Let me see if I have in here. Because love, true love. I like that. So if you do not have the control of your habit, your rituals, or what you're thinking about, because everything is about controlling. I want to control that situation. Why I want to heard from him? Because I wanted to know exactly why he blocked me You see, this is the question from the person here in this platform. TikTok. Okay, and Mahi, I read your message, and so you feel you lost control. Everything is about control, right? When I overeating, I'm controlling something. When I'm not eating at all, right? When I'm not eating at all, I control my weight. I control my body. I control the clothes I want to wear. I control the way I want to look. When I'm eating a lot, hey, at least I have control. No one is going to stop me from what I want to eat. I have a patient. I have to laugh about that because I just remember a patient client that she is like double of the weight that she was when she got married. And she considered him a narcissist, right? And they're married for 2 decades. And she says, I'm going to drink everything I want, and especially like soda, all the sweetened lemonade she wants. Why? Because she controls, because he stopped. And it's true. I believe it that happened, but she has to change the narrative, right? He stopped and complain about what? That she should not spend the whole time as a stay-home mother. Look at that. The husband tried to they control the woman, the wife, because he wants to be a powerful couple, whatever it is in real estate. So look at that, how frustrated the man was that cannot manage and provide enough for the whole family, right? Mother and wife and 2 kids. And she saw her husband getting frustrated of that, and she started avoiding him, even in the intimacy. So she gained a lot of weight, all right? So at least she can control her food, and she's going to eat whatever she wants. That is how she started coming to the therapy. All right, that it was her sentence, like I have the power, I have the control, no one will stop me. But when you bring a different narrative, right, because I ask the questions in certain moment, the patient allowed me to ask the questions. And when the narrative changed, she started losing weight. When the resentment about that she has towards her husband, but that resentment started back there against her father. The story is much longer, right? Well, it's a long story. I'm not here to share because I keep the patient's privacy, but it's important. The story is never just one. There are layers and layers behind. And emotionally, in the therapy, she just said, I cannot believe I lost 5 pounds. I don't even know why. I never told her to lose weight. Excuse me? No. She's doing therapy. I'm not a nutritionist, but she lost weight. Like that. Because she's releasing the resentments. The narrative changed in her head. Now that the 2 kids, they are married, she has a new career, something that she actually loves. And her 2 kids, they are girls, and she took care. As a good mother, she took care of their things, right? So, okay. So, another thing, the response is performed to cope with negative feelings or consequence, okay? Thank Thank you. I look like Penelope Cruz. I love her. She looks so beautiful, right? So the response, okay. The person with obsessive thoughts, and I'm not here, obsessive thoughts, obsessive compulsive behavior, impulsivity. I'm not diagnosed anyone. I'm not calling a disorder, okay? So how come to undo the potential harm, the self-harm, right? You understand that when that woman, she gained weight, I'm going to finish with this example because I'm coming tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow I'll be back. It's going to be an hour already of talking. Tomorrow I will be back. The same time. Not sure the same time, maybe an hour later. That's okay for you? Because I truly want to know how this platform in here is working for me. I know YouTube, I also share with Facebook, right? Thank you. So, and I like this evening because I know um, that people, they are at home, right? They can listen. So let me see. How can I invest my time and share with you guys my experience? So remember that. So what I was talking about, oh, there are one more. So the response, right? They undo the potential harm. So it's a self-harm in that case of the, hello, Green Mick. Kristen, how are you? You can ask a question. I will answer. I will be ready for answer the last question in here in this platform tonight, okay? It is a self-harm when you don't take care of your welfare, okay? So to neutralize the compulsive behavior, reduce the distress, and no longer put you in danger, right? So I will share just to engage with you guys one exercise tonight, okay? Now will be the last one. Two, okay, what stand do you tend to engage in the same response over and over? And here is a rating of is a rating scale for intrusive thoughts, distressing, unwanted self-negative talking. So, what standard do you tend to engage in the same response over and over? Not at all, slight, moderate, severe, or extreme. The same response. And let's talk about the compulsive behavior of smoking, for example. She shared in here something of eat a lot, or look at you at the mirror, even that your nutritionist is saying you are not unhealthy at all, but you think you're looking terrible. You still need to lose more weight, okay? So, well, it was a lot for today since I am in social media, in those platforms, all right? And I was invited for a podcast. So, I will share more with you guys during the next week, this week, next week. Many things are happening now. So, let's end this year. Let's make this year a great year already, right? It's still time for that. You're about to go into the last month, December, and it'll be a great year, okay, with our relationships. Hello, Anthony, how are you? How have you been? Please watch this live. Send me an email. I'm updating my blog. I have so many great news. So look, my email, daniela.phd.psychology@gmail.com. Okay? WhatsApp +1 424 333 6851. Pacific time, send me your story, ask questions, okay? To the psychologist, to the family therapist. Bye, guys. It was great to have you here all.